Here we have been following the drama of this case all day long. We are on your side with live team coverage from Raleigh. Let's start with our chief investigative reporter, Nick Oxner. So, Nick, the big question is he going to testify?
Well, the man you're talking about, of course, is McCrae Dallas, that Republican political operative who worked for Mark Harris in the 9th Congressional District race in 2018. And the answer, guys, is no, he will not testify. We just learned that within the last 10 or 15 minutes. He was the last witness called for the day by the staff at the State Board of Elections. He went up and approached the board with his attorney. His attorney said that he wasn't going to testify unless he was given immunity under a provision in the state law that allows the State Board of Elections to compel someone's testimony, but then immunizes them from future criminal prosecution. Attorneys for Dan McCready objected to that reading and interpretation of the statute, said he should still have to take the stand, but ultimately that is not what happened. We actually spent most of the day, though, hearing from a woman who says she considers herself McCrae Dallas's stepfather, a woman named Lisa Britt. She was called to testify as the very first witness this morning and spent hours on the stand detailing a number of things that, if proven true by the state board, would be very illegal crimes. I spoke with Britt exclusively, sat down with her in December of this past year, answered some very pointed questions. We've compared her answers to my questions in December with the answers she gave investigators at the state board today, and you'll see there are quite some differences. Did you ever take someone's ballot from them?
No, sir.
Did you ever change someone's ballot?
No, sir.
If some of the things hadn't been filled in, we would fill in the ones who had not been filled in.
So if it was unsealed and the ballot was not completely voted, you would fill in the other offices?
Yes, ma'am. What I would do would be just vote whoever was the Republican on the thing, as far as that would go.
People have written under oath. They've sworn affidavits under oath that said you took their ballots and you did things that could be illegal.
Yeah, I saw that too, sir, but no, that never happened.
I contacted my mother and had let her know that I had witnessed too many ballots, that it was throwing up a red flag, and she told me I could either bring them to her or that I could just sign her name to them. I think it was maybe 7 ballots that I signed her name to. Did
you ever witness a ballot that you didn't actually see cast?
No, sir.
You ever instructed to sign the witness signature on absentee container return envelopes for which you had not been in the presence of the voter? Were you ever asked to be the other witness?
Yes, ma'am. I've witnessed ballots that I was not there.
You never did anything wrong?
No, sir. We really weren't doing wrong. In the event, not to my knowledge, we weren't doing anything wrong.
I do feel that I have done wrong. Did I know I was doing wrong? No, ma'am, I didn't. But yeah, I do feel like I've done wrong.
A number of other witnesses were called today as well, who detailed some other schemes working for McCrae Dallas, collecting ballots and bringing them back. The State Board of Elections says that is illegal. There's also a second group that's coming into play called the Bladen County Improvement Association PAC. We learned today, hearing from Britt and others, that members affiliated with that organization were somehow also involved in Dallas's organization, even though they were working for Republicans and Democrats, 2 different sides. We'll likely learn more about that when the hearing resumes tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. We'll be here in Raleigh bringing you more live team coverage. For now, reporting live in Raleigh, Nick Oxner, WBTV, on your side.
Yeah, it has been quite a day. Nick, thank you. Yeah, this investigation has taken a lot of twists and turns. The Board of Elections walked us through where they're taking this case. Again, the congressional race between Dan McCready and Mark Harris is in limbo because of it. Investigative reporter David Hodges continues our team coverage.
So far, investigators are clearly focusing on McCrae Dallas. In the very beginning of the hearing, the executive director of the board outlined their entire investigation and what they looked into. The key of it is exactly what McCrae Dallas is accused of doing, the applications for absentee ballots, and then also the collection of absentee ballots. Executive Director Kim Strach outlined very specifically for the board what is legal and what is illegal when it comes to the collection of absentee ballots. It is legal to take a ballot into the office yourself if you're the voter, or to have a close family member take it to the office or even mail it. What is illegal is for someone else, anyone else, to do that. That's what the accusations are against people who are working for McCrae Dallas's operation. The other two areas of focus for the investigators were the release of early voting records, the fact that somehow some of the people in McCrae Dallas sphere knew exactly who was voting and when and even for whom before the general election, and then also the security of the Board of Elections office in Bladen County. There had been a security audit done ahead of time. Nothing was done back in 2018. When I was there just recently at the end of 2018, they were doing yet another audit to improve the security there because there were questions about just how easy it was for some people to access that office.
We believe the evidence that we will provide today will show that a coordinated, unlawful, and substantially resourced absentee ballot scheme operated during the 2018 general election in Bladen and Robinson counties.
We can expect investigators to add on to that as we hear from more witnesses over the next couple of days and we get to see more of their evidence. For now, that's all we have from Raleigh. Back to you in the studio.
All right, David, thank you. There's a lot to this story. If you want to follow every update on this case, we have posted a chronological story of today's testimony on WBTV.com/NC9.
Well, breaking at noon, the second day of hearings in the 9th Congressional District election investigation is happening right now. The first day, yesterday, we heard accusations of an unlawful absentee ballot scheme run by McCrae Dallas. WBTV investigative reporter David Hodges is in Raleigh covering the hearings. He joins us live now. So, David, what's been happening so far today?
Well, John, today so far we're hearing about election violations of a different variety, that some of the early voting results were possibly improperly viewed and maybe even shared before Election Day. The first witness to take the stand today was Michelle Maultsby. She is a poll worker in Bladen County. She told the election board staff today that while she was working the poll, she wasn't aware or did not improperly view the results herself, but she did question about accusations that early voting results from the last day were leaked to people in the public. What we now know is that the results, or the voting tape as it's called, was run through the machine and tabulated before what's allowed by election rules. But Maultsby says that she is not aware of anyone looking at those results, and she said as much to the former Bladen elections director.
Did you hear anyone talking about any of the races on there?
No, I did not.
So you didn't hear anybody talking about it, and you didn't see any of the results?
No, I did not.
And as site supervisor, what would be your instructions to the workers there about looking at the results?
Not on my watch.
But then we've heard for some more witnesses who worked as poll workers in Bladen County who say something different. Agnes Willis, she filled out an affidavit earlier, and she testified today that she did in fact see people looking at this voting tape, as it's called, that showed some of the election results. She says she was doing her work in the elections office when she heard someone say, "Oh my God." She turned around and saw the entire tape rolled out, which showed some of the results. Now investigators are questioning and trying to get to the bottom of who saw those results and whether any of them were shared. We're going to have more updates on that later as the hearing continues. For now, that's all we have live in Raleigh. I'm David Hodges, WBTV, on your side.